Hey, yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I'm saying? As of this recording right now, it is 2:13 p.m. You know what I mean? May 8th, 2025. You know what I mean? I'm just chilling. Yeah, I'm chilling out here, you know, in my apartment here in Fort Greene. Yeah, I'm bored as shit. You know what I mean? I'm just scrolling through stuff. You know what I mean? I'm seeing all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I just seen a throwback picture with Foxy Brown. I'd fuck the shit out of Foxy Brown, bro. I love Foxy Brown. You know what? It's funny. Like, I got mutual friends. I actually got friends who know Inga. You know what I'm saying? Who know her personally. And it's funny too because, every time I would do, when I do my walk, when I do the videos and shit, right? When she was young, she used to go to PS20, like right there across the street from Fort Greene Park. You know what I mean? Crazy, right? I ain't never met her a day in my life. You know what I mean? But I know how I am. Like, bad shorty right there. You know what I mean? I love dark skinned females. Like, y'all should know that already. You know what I mean? I have no filter in saying that. You know what I mean? Anyway, speaking of having no filter, right? I'm going to have no filter with this discussion because, this dude, Will Ospreay, this dude, Will Ospreay, man. Will Ospreay makes me laugh, yo. Like, seriously. Will Ospreay, I'm like, damn. Like, this dude legit doesn't shut the fuck up. And, I'm starting to think now that, it's either two sides. Either this nigga, quote unquote, hates WWE and is still salty about what Triple H said, or this motherfucker's just doing this for the sake that he's in AEW. And he wants to be a company guy. You know what I mean? So he's just going out saying shit about All Elite Wrestling and stuff because he's under contract with them. But then when it comes down to, contract talks, when it's contract time, you know what I'm saying? Then he's like, mwah, 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 mwah. You know what I'm saying? So he did an interview, right? Let me drink some water. Like, this motherfucker did an interview, right? Where he's still talking shit about WWE. Talking about, how he never, he was never, he's not a fan of, the in-ring product that they have and such. He's like, oh, he was a fan of this when he was a teenager, but then when he got older, he just didn't like it and such. I'm going to give you the quote, right, about what he said about WWE. There's a couple of quotes, and I'm definitely going to speak my mind and say what I want to say, right? So this way he said, so it was an interview with the Daily Star, and because he did this to promote that bullshit pay-per-view Forbidden Door and such. And again, all this that he's saying, right, is basically to help promote AEW, right? This way he says, WWE on fire right now, but like I still, it's not only just a viewer, but as a wrestler, I just don't enjoy it. I haven't watched WrestleMania, Cap. What I've heard is it wasn't the best Mania. Maybe like Io, Rhea, and Bianca was the only sick match out there, which the three of them are sick. Three are the best wrestlers, period. I thought you didn't watch it, nigga. But for me, I was just never a WWE guy. I respect it, and I respect the guys doing it. That schedule is like crazy, and I commend all of them doing it. I just didn't like it. I just don't like the show. I just don't like the style of wrestling. I just don't like the presentation. It's gotten better. I love the one shots that they've been doing, but I never was a big fan of it. So that's why that's when I like AEW came along and they went more of a sports based style of it. It was something that I could sink my teeth into. This nigga is capped than a motherfucker. He is capped. And I'm going to tell you why he's capped. Okay? He's capped because, and I'm going to get to what he said about Triple H too. He's capped because, when he was going for free agency, right? WWE definitely had interest in such, right? And, he didn't say all this shit before, but it's kind of funny how this motherfucker says this now. You know what I'm saying? He says this now and such, right? Because, it's Forbidden Door and he's promoting AEW and shit, right? And, who was the last person that I heard that said they didn't like WWE? Let me think. Wasn't it Sting who said this, that he hated WWE and such, and then he wound up going there? You know what I mean? Like sometimes I get the feeling like this motherfucker, like he got WWE so much on his mind that I feel like this motherfucker wants to go there. I feel like he wants to go there and such, right? This motherfucker really wants to go to WWE, right? Because again, if you apparently don't like WWE, why the fuck you keep talking about them? Why the fuck you in interviews, you know what I'm saying? Sucking their dick and all this other bullshit. Like, come on, man. Like, get the fuck out of my motherfucking face with that. But let me tell you what he said about Triple H. Okay, because this is also a kicker, and I'm gonna get to this too. So this way he said, of course I like WWE, and I admire everyone there. A lot of people think I hate Triple H, and I really don't. I've never met the guy before in my life, Ospreay said. But for me, there's always this little bit of rivalry where I just be like, yeah, you guys are the biggest. Yeah, you guys are drawing the bigger houses. Yeah, you guys have the bigger deals. But the moment the bell rings, I think we're better than all of them. Like, I think honestly, in my worst day, I'm better than a lot of guys in ring promos. You guys have a lot. You guys have a bunch of guys. Punk sick, Roman Reigns is sick, but there's still that I need to catch up on. But in ring, I generally don't think there is anyone there that sides, I'm sorry if I'm going fast, but in ring, I generally don't think there's anyone from that side that matches any of our guys. So what he's trying to say is no one there in ring wise can fuck with the people that think I'm AEW. Basically, he likes to suck the indies dick, right? What this motherfucker don't realize is the type of style that he wrestles, it don't connect with the audience here in the United States. It don't. It doesn't. And this nigga's still talking about Triple H. He's still salty. This motherfucker is still salty about last year, with the Triple H grind comment, right? All right, maybe Triple H, should never said that. However, right? Triple H was not talking about Will Ospreay. He wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And Will Ospreay really, really, really needs to be careful. He just needs to shut the fuck up. Like, he really needs to be careful because, again, when it's contract time, and let's keep it a buck, okay? When it's contract time, right? And when AEW, because eventually they're going to break apart. I don't know when and such. Like, he's hot right now, but, at some point, they're going to wind up breaking apart, right? And also, I will mention something too, but he needs to be careful because, all the shit talking he's doing and such, right? He's only 32 years old, right? All the shit talking this motherfucker's doing, right? If let's say AEW let's say hypothetically AEW, decides not to bring him back, right? For whatever reason, right? And he still wants to make that much money. He still wants to make money and such and still keep the stardom that he had. He's not going to take a step backwards down. You think he's going to go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling? There might not even be a New Japan Pro Wrestling, to all we fucking know, right? Especially WWE buys it. Where the fuck is he going to go? He's not going to take a step backwards to go back to England to wrestle in the Indies. Fuck no. There's only one place after AEW that he can make the most money in. WWE. So he needs to be very, very careful. And here's the other thing Will Ospreay don't realize too, right? WWE has their own version of Will Ospreay. To me, a little bit better. A little bit of a better version than Will Ospreay. And some people are going to be in the comment section, oh, how can you say that? People I'm about to say, okay? They have a better version of Will Ospreay in their roster. His name is Logan Paul. Logan Paul, not only Logan Paul is fucking great in the ring, right? Not only Logan Paul can do the exact same shit that Will Ospreay does, right? But he has something that Will Ospreay doesn't have. Charisma. You know what I mean? He can work the mic and everything. I mean, you can't get mad at Logan Paul. You know what I mean? You legit can't get upset about that. You know? I mean, listen. You know, Will Ospreay can say all the shit he wants to say. He's only 32 years old. Know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of time, you know, for him to change his ways and everything else, right? What the fuck does he hate WWE for? What, the style of wrestling? Did they do shit to him and such? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. But I think this is all just for bullshit. You know, because AEW, you know, he's trying to wow up the troops for All Elite Wrestling and all this other shit, right? So again, he's just talking shit and such, you know, but again, he really, really, really needs to be careful with what the fuck he says because, you know, wrestling can change at the drop of a dime, homie, you know, and, you know, if you're not hot, you know what I mean, motherfuckers are going to turn their back on you and such, and again, where the fuck are you going to go? Where you going to go? You know, and plus WWE always puts on better shit than what AEW is doing. I hate to say it. I legit hate to say it. People don't like it, but that's too fucking bad. That's too fucking bad. You know what I mean? So I'm about to be out, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna upload this in a bit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna definitely holler at y'all. I'm about to go play some games. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely check y'all. Peace.